My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. This channel is growing. We're over 115,000 subscribers, on our way to 120,000. My Patreon link is below if you want to support this channel. Paul Sperry, developing why in November 2015 did Strzok text page need to meet the Aussies real fast. Aussies like Alexander Downer? Why would they have to meet anyone from Australia in 2015? Developing why in March 2016 did FBI Deputy McCabe aides Lisa Page frantically text Strzok about needing to, quote, fix a huge F-up. And so Paul Sperry is awesome. And when you look at the Strzok page texts, the recent ones that are out, this will all be discussed and addressed in the Inspector General's report. But the really interesting thing is that Peter Strzok and Lisa Page documented every aspect of Trump-Russia. You can just go ahead, insurance policy. So let's just start with that. Peter Strzok's, okay, of course, the Washington Post. Peter Strzok's insurance policy text message looks bad. Okay, good, yeah, stop there. But it doesn't look like a smoking gun. Of course not. If it's a Trump Jr. meeting with a Russian lawyer that has nothing to do with Putin. Nothing. Oh, he wanted to hit dirt on Hillary. Yeah, take a number. Who doesn't want dirt on Hillary? Who doesn't have dirt on Hillary? She used an unencrypted server, by the way, with top secret and special access program intelligence that the whole planet hacked into. Well, the Washington Post is like, well, you know, it's not a smoking gun, but let's go ahead just really quickly. I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, that there's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy. In the unlikely event you die before you're 40. They're talking about Andrew McCabe. And then the first part is that the insurance policy part doesn't refer to anything specifically except the concept of getting life insurance before you turn 40. The Washington Post has to twist itself into a mental pretzel. It's not about an insurance policy called Russia. It could be an insurance policy like, what is it? Mutual of Omaha, life insurance. Oh, Lord. Okay. So that is the context. So even the Washington Post is like, oh, well, it's true that this looks really, really, really bad, but apparently it could just be that he's shopping for life insurance. No. It's like an insurance policy. We can't take the risk of Trump becoming president. And recovered Strzok page text messages delivered to congressional committees. So now we have a situation where Strzok page texts, there are thousands and thousands of them. They must have really cared for each other. All they do is text each other. Plus, you have passion and curiosity, which is more than half the battle. Anyway, I am so not in a different class from Redacted and Redacted. That is crazy. You don't get the big picture like you do. Redacted is operationally amazing. So it's like, okay, whatever. But Paul Sperry reports a November 2015 Strzok page text. Need to meet the Aussies real fast. Well, let's see. Why would they need to meet the Aussies? Could it be because Alexander Dumbo Downer met with George Papadopoulos? That was one of the pretext. That was a pretext to start the whole ridiculous Russia probe nonsense. Definitely hit subscribe to this channel because next week is going to be vindication for you and for me. For everyone who's watched this channel and for everyone who just hasn't given up You can't give up. It's the second inning. It's not even the second inning. It's like the bottom of the first. It's a 9-inning ball game. People are like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Oh, one comment, this is hilarious. One comment said that my channel was hope porn. like I'm providing hope for people. And it's like hope porn. Like, oh my God, it's just this gluttony of hope. It's not about hope. It's about crimes and evidence. If I say that McCabe's going to get indicted, or eventually Clinton's going to get indicted, I believe Comey's going to get indicted too. If I say these people will eventually get the justice they deserve peacefully and politically in terms of a legal sense, like getting indicted for crimes, like lying under oath twice, that's from McCabe, lying under oath numerous times with Comey, one of them's lying. So Clinton, we know, transferring top secret intelligence on an encrypted server, we all know. One of them's lying. Comey said that he never authorized McCabe to leak information to the Wall Street Journal regarding the Clinton Foundation probes, which he did only because his wife received close to $1 million from Terry McAuliffe for her campaigns. Okay, McCabe said, what are you talking about? Yes, you did, Comey. You allowed me to do so. But Strzok traveled to London. So did Brennan. So did other officials. So let's see. All right, so this is interesting. London Bridge is falling down. Curious origins of FBI's Trump-Russia probe. So let's just go ahead and see here. It originated earlier, 1,700 miles away in London, where foreign figures contacted Trump campaign advisor and provided the FBI with hearsay allegations. There you go. Alexander Dumbo Downer spoke to George Papadopoulos over a drunken conversation. And then, oh my God, that along with the Steele dossier, oh my goodness. We're not going to withstand the pressure. We're not going to withstand the pressure soon. FBI lawyer Lisa Page texted fellow agent Peter Strzok on August 3rd, 2016, days after Strzok opened the official probe and returned from a trip to London. Why would they? So why did Strzok go to London? What's the deal with drinking in London between George Papadopoulos and Alexander Dumbo Downer, the Australian ambassador? Love people from Australia. Actually, one of my favorite people in the entire universe is Julian Assange, of course. The most important, perhaps one of the most important people in world history is Julian Assange. That's not hyperbole, by the way. He's from Australia. So, nothing against Australians, love Australians, but Alexander Downer, reason I say Dumbo Downer is because he's linked to the Clinton Foundation. $25 million directly in terms of Australian taxpayer money to the Clinton Foundation, and because of him, $88 million total during subsequent administrations. So when you look at Australia and the Clinton Foundation, 88 million, Clinton Foundation, Australia. This is February 7, 2018, michaelsmithnews.com. By mid-2016, Australian donations to the Clinton Foundation were worth more than $88 million. This is from Michael Smith News, and he is a renowned journalist, Australian journalist. Recent Australian government data, direct Clinton Foundation taxpayer donations total $130 million. And then there's a picture on February 22nd, 2006, the Foreign Minister Alexander Downer and Bill Clinton signed a $25 million deal triggering the first round of Australian donations to the Clinton Foundation. So the Clinton Foundation is just unbelievable. They're everywhere. FBI investigating millions of mishandled dollars funneled from the Australian government to the Clinton Foundation. So you're looking at a total of 88 million, goes on to say. Alexander Downer is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle here. He's also one of the reasons the FBI's James Comey was able to obtain a FISA warrant. Look, it's so easy. That's why I say watch this channel throughout this week. Don't give up. There are too many people giving up. They're like, oh, it's too much. Nothing's going to happen anyway. And don't have that mentality. I don't want to use the word because it's condescending, this defeatist mentality. I hate that when people say, it's a defeatist mentality. Just, try to go jump off the cliff. You can do it. Don't be defeatist. No. I'm not saying the impossible will take place. I'm simply saying that crimes happened. The evidence of those crimes are real. Money flowed. The money flows aren't on Trump's side. The money flows on the Clinton Foundation and Clinton Democratic Party side. So it's very easy. All of this, the Mueller probe and the Trump-Russia investigation, Comey's memos, all of these things, it's all going to come crashing down. If the Inspector General report does what it needs to do, people will get indicted right away by John Huber and by Sessions. Or by Sessions via John Huber from information derived from the Inspector General report. John Huber's like a walking special counsel. That's the best case scenario. So immediately, McCabe gets indicted, which I believe he will either immediately or eventually after the report. But like I keep saying, the political will, the political momentum is that all of this is leading towards indictments on the Democratic side, eventually leading to Clinton's indictments. Okay, over several days they exchanged texts that appeared to express fears of political meddling or leaking by the Obama White House. This is much more tasty for one of those DOJ a-holes to leak. This is funny. Strzok wrote about two FBI colleagues. They voiced alarm when an FBI colleague, Liz, suggested the Obama White House was about to hijack the investigation. Went well, best we could have expected. The White House is running this. Page then texted to assure Strzok a paper trail showing the FBI in charge. We got emails that say otherwise, so that's interesting. Whoever is at fault here, whether it's the White House running it or the FBI, and of course we always hear about the solemn separation of powers under Obama. He had nothing to do with anything. The next day they went into further detail about the White House concerns, so maybe not the best national security president, but a genuinely good and decent human being. Oh, that's nice. Unlike Trump, who's this mean ogre, only presiding over peace between North and South Korea. Yeah, I like him, just not a fan of weakness globally. All right, Strzok, you're voting for... This guy sounds like an old school Republican. He's voting for Clinton, which basically makes him an old school Republican. Was thinking about what the administration will be doing will be willing to do regarding Russia. He's so worried about Russia. Why did you allow the Steele dossier to be used as evidence? That was compiled with Russian sources. Steele dossier was used as evidence to go after Trump. So ridiculous. The summer 2016 text messages are bookends to a series of London contacts that predate the official opening of the investigation. On May 10th, Australian diplomat Alexander Downer met in a London bar with Trump advisor George Papadopoulos, who boasted of knowing that Russia would release dirt on Clinton. What if George Papadopoulos said that he knew that Hillary Clinton had sex with Newt Gingrich? This is a profanity alert or vulgar or whatever. What if he said that Hillary Clinton had a three-way with Newt Gingrich and Sean Hannity, and that they were videotaping it on her server, and as they were doing it, Anthony Weiner was on his laptop doing his thing, and then Abedin was transferring special access program and top secret intelligence throughout both laptops, or both computers? What if he said that? Do you think Donner would have been like, I'm going to go tell the FBI this? No. Who cares what he said? Who cares what two drunk men talk about? And it's so easy. The manipulation is so easy. You have millions of people who can't fathom how Trump won. They don't want to realize it's because of them. It's because of the Democratic Party that has to be peacefully and politically dismantled. They don't want to realize that, so they'll believe these old, I don't know what you would call them, these old ridiculous legends or cliches or tropes or whatever. Well, he spilled the beans, Should I go do my sessions? I'll save it for later. But the interesting thing here is that so people believed oh yeah, he went ahead. There was loose lips sink ships, and so oh my goodness, we're gonna start this now with So not only do you have a drunken conversation, which I always talk about, but you have a drunken conversation in addition to a Steele dossier that was compiled by Russian sources that's also hearsay and gossip. Then, of course, you have the Alwans. I'm looking on Twitter right now. Luke Rosiak is a great reporter for the Daily Caller. And he is the number one source, for... Is he still at the Daily Caller? For the Alwans. But here are the delays in the Alwan case. No dispute that server logs show unauthorized access and House financial docs were falsified. But Dems want it gone and DOJ is acquiescing. Well, there's a major cover-up here. And I think what's taking place is just like I always said. You have to go ahead and you have to force Sessions from a political perspective because he's part of the swamp, whatever you want to call it now. Senate released 500 pages of Strzok page texts. Well, there you go. All of these text messages implicate Obama, Trump, not Trump. Actually, they implicate everybody from Obama, Comey, Clinton, Clapper, Brandon, Strzok, Page, all of them. Bluerson, Elliot Orr, Christopher Steele, Glenn Simpson. It's just unbelievable. Strzok, Page, text. And this is only one of the things, one element of the Inspector General report. One element. We're not even getting to the meat and potatoes of everything. The FISA abuses, the Clinton email cover-up. It's all the same nonsense. Clinton transferred top-secret intelligence from Cybernet, JWICs, and SCIFs onto an unencrypted server. They fabricated everything regarding Trump and Russia. They can't explain how Trump possibly could have worked with Russia to hack the DNC. So Trump would have had to know that the DNC was so corrupt and Clinton was so corrupt. He already knew that, but that Clinton was so corrupt, she was cheating Bernie Sanders. And then in Trump's mind, we'll get the Russians to hack the DNC. That'll create, havoc within the Democratic Party, and then I'll win. Because that'll hurt Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania voters who haven't voted for a Republican in a presidential campaign since the 80s. By the way, check out my latest segment on HA Second Amendment. I am shooting a Glock 17, one of my favorite handguns. Definitely one of my favorite semi-autos to shoot. 9mm. Of the firearms I've shot thus far, the Glock 17 9mm and the Springfield 1911 MC Operator 45 ACP are my two favorite. My favorite, of course, is the firearm that I own, my 500 Smith & Wesson. But I'll be getting that to the range a lot. The range that I go to now doesn't allow that because it's too powerful for that. Well, within LA County, I can go outside LA County and then find a range that'll is cool with me just shooting the 500. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. That's an HA Second Amendment below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel right now. Right now. The train is moving. Next week, we will all be vindicated. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Hit subscribe. Patreon link for this channel is below. Thank you so much for listening.